And welcome to Button Mashers. And today we're talking about Yoshi-p. He's leaving the board of directors, and I thought he was leaving permanently. I'm like, no! Gorgeous man is leaving. Yeah, I mean, he is good looking, but at the end of the day, he might have a husband or wife and family at home. Um, so still one can drink. But apparently he's leaving the board of directors, and I thought he was. This was when my first thought was I was like, oh my god, he's leaving the company. No, it turns out he's stepping down to work on games and stuff and be sort of a committee for that for the Final Fantasy 14, which you know what? I am glad for the man. I am glad because lot of the interviews when I was researching for this article, a lot of it said that he didn't want to be on the board, which is completely fine. Um, it's if I could understand that because I know the guy who did Yakuza, they wanted to put him on a board of Sega, and he's like, nope, 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 nope. So I can understand that. Situation for him, it's more like promotion than demotion, because he gets to do what he loves, is working on the games instead of having to deal with the corporate nonsense. Like a lot of the articles did say that he wanted to focus more on the games than be on a board, which I could get that. I mean, especially as like a lot of creatives, you should, if you are being creative, and this is something I'm still learning, is more the business aspect, marketing your art and stuff. Like that is important. Do your own thing. You gotta learn that. Um, but I could understand, like, cause like, yeah, I'd rather work on writing or stuff. So I could get that. I get Yoshi-p on there, and you know what? I am glad for him. 100% glad, and I hope this helps Final Fantasy 14. I'm not sure if it will, cause I'll get into that a little later. But right now, I hope it helps Final Fantasy 14 because it desperately needs. Other than the whole Rook Lamont situation, which I'll get into how that came into be. Um, after I talk about Yoshi, the problem um, is the game has a very bad patch cadence. Um, at the end of the day, it's like the whole island knockdown thing, the new relic weapon thing should have been in 7.1. 7.0 was perfect for like let people level up their ults and stuff. Um, and this is my thought, is like 7.1 should have had um, the 24-man raid or the new Uwu, and then save the new Uwu raid for 7.2 or whichever one, vice versa, whichever one they didn't use. So you could get the casuals and then the hardcore people all happy and keep them around. I understand, yes, like Yoshi-p said, take breaks, and I think there is middle ground of having too much content, or like where World of Warcraft did, where it was like in Shadowlands where they made you log in every day to do quests and dailies. That's wrong, but there should be something there to incentivize the player to log on. There's got to be like some kind of middle ground, and I think, like I said, Final Fantasy used to do this well, but lately they've been fumbling the ball with that when it comes to like content release and all that stuff. I would think that people would be more happy to play if there was more stuff. I think like I said, the weapon thing should have been 7.1, but honestly, my bet's gonna be 7.2.5 when it comes down. And honestly, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it. I got other games I've been having fun with. I've been playing Guild Wars 2s. I rediscovered the love for The Sims. Let's see what else. And then I've been playing the old Castlevania game that came out on a Switch. So I've been like pretty busy, and I think the thing is also is Square needs to do is, and the reason why they need more like content, so drip feeding it to the people, is because people are going to go to other games and go play those games or their other stuff, and this is why sort of I guess the attention economy It's a new thing, and you know what? I sort of get it because everyone's fighting for your attention, and so Square has to fight for their audience's attention too. Same with WoW, because I think World of Warcraft had the same problem in Shadowlands when they were essentially on top, and they got too comfortable. But anyways, so going, things happening in Final Fantasy 14. I think they're getting too comfortable in their position, and it's gonna bite them in the ass, in my honest opinion. There's already they're releasing new store content on Final Fantasy 14. I'm assuming the pattern numbers because they did the Zero outfit and I think they did an emote and it was in a very short span. So I'm assuming the numbers aren't looking that good for investors, especially when it went from like 3 million subscribers to under um, a million. Like I understand the WoW Exodus happened and the fact that more people were at home due to COVID. But the problem is having a 3 million dip to under 1 million. That's not natural. Like something else had to happen, and I think Dawn Trail happened. So yeah, I just this ain't good. Now let's go into why. Honestly, I'm glad Yoshi-p got the position he wanted, and he's overlooking the game more and working on more on the creative side. I am freaking glad for him, but I'll be honest, this is sort of where my doubts come in. Because I've been doing like Googling before this episode started. Um, First off, I looked up the Japanese site of squareenix and the American site. And both of them have sort of diversity on their list. Sort of both sides. And here's the issue. Diversity isn't inherently bad. Like I grew up with great shows when I was young, like Sister Sister, The Proud Family, That's So Raven, with sort of like a diverse cast. That ain't a problem. I think the problem is became the only focal point instead of being like, oh yeah, here's a good story with a black cast, or you know what I'm saying? That's the problem. And plus, it's then on top of that, if you don't like with Dragon Age, if you don't like it, everyone and their mother will come after you. So I think it's sort of blackpilled a lot of people too, which is which is something that is quite ironic for the whole DI movement. But yeah, so both sides stated that they champion diversity. Now, on the English side of the site, which is more interesting, is that they have this lady called Tracy Fullerton, and damn, she looks like she looks like one of those college professors. Anyways, so she also is on the board for Games of Change, which is an organization that essentially makes games for societal change and stuff. And this woman and this is by LA Weekly, it says, and this is by May 6, 2015. If the video game industry ever becomes gender balanced, you should thank Tracy Fullerton. And I think she's one part. There's another part which I'll get into another person, but she's one part of the thing because the board is Japanese, and a lot of times Japanese culture is a lot more isolated from the West, but which isn't a bad thing usually, but if you're running like an international business, you should know the other audiences too, what they want. That's just my thought. Not preconceived notions of what they want. I think that this Tracy Fullerton is sort of whispering executives' ears of what the West wants. And it's sort of this idea to me is sort of proven between how both sites are different and they only show the diversity part, but they got the whole spiel on the Western part when it comes to the whole DEI stuff. Like they got the whole thing. Like here's one of their posts. Is that It's what I said they already have on their site. The Square Group believes in the importance of fostering diverse and inclusive workplaces across many rich facets of human experience, including nationality, race, religion, thought, and creed, age, gender, sexual or sexual orientation and physical condition. Well, thought and creed are out. Pew! Anyways, all our local locations work to represent and promote diversity, equity, and inclusion across areas such as recruiting, training, team building, and employee activities. We are encouraged by the progress we've seen through the years in any areas of diversity, equity, and inclusion to continue prioritizing our work in this area. Oh, Lord. Lordy Lord. And yet you might have destroyed your expansion pack, my bad. And you might have destroyed a whole, um, MMO with one expansion pack. My lord. My lord. So on the American site where it says talks about their community efforts, and essentially this is where it goes on. Contributions community. The Square Enix Group has a long-standing tradition of community programs to make our world a better place. Aid those in need and support local communities we call home. We provide assistance and engage in fundraising efforts for local, regional, and national charities. Examples include donations to organizations supporting humanitarian aid and disaster relief efforts in times of crisis, organizations fighting for social equality, organizations addressing children's health, cancer, and food insecurity. And then they go on, it says, Week also create opportunities for education, inspiration, and awareness of rich backgrounds, cultures, and contributions that make our diverse world, including our workforce. Our initiatives include multi-platform campaigns, cultural spotlights, including African American History Month, Women History Month, Pride Month, and AIP Month, Heritage Month, and the work of our Pride and Women in Gaming Employee Resources Group. In 2021, a collaborative effort between multiple groups, locations produced on an original Pride mascot, Mina, celebrating the work of LGBTQ employees and the greater community serving as a Pride Month ambassador. Sorry, I read that wrong. I think the Square is fully in with DEI. Then another point, which I thankfully for Twitter, and this is where I got the other post from, apart from were about Tracy Fulton, which is how I sort of pulled that string, is by Act Clive, where it says "Do not support Sweet Baby Inc." And this is from Kate, who is a law constellation in English localization league. The hardest thing is if there's a character I really like, and then people say this character sucks, I'm like, no, you're wrong. And boy, this lady, really, she looks like the picture they choose is not flattering because it looks like she doesn't look happy. It looks like her face looks like she's like, help me, and that picture doesn't look flattering. But yeah, here's the thing: everyone has their own right to whoever they like. But I think if you're especially a localization lead, there's gotta be a level of quality because you're essentially putting the characters from the Japanese counterpart to the English and having to make them pop in the screen like they would in the Japanese and sort of make them shine in English. Of Yoshi-p was talking about how he had to hire Sweet Baby because they were essentially on a consultation list. And I think all these two together essentially makes the story bad, which is not good for like a MMO like Final Fantasy 14, where it's very focused on a story. Like it's as much as and it's like a major content update. I mean, people just play for the story alone, which is completely fine. As long as you're having fun with the game, I don't care. So, I just think right now they really need to get rid of SBI, and really I think there needs to be some contact from Japan to the Americans somehow without sort of the filter of people like Tracy Fulterman. That's my opinion. This has gone almost 15 minutes. What do you guys think? Anyways, take care. Happy gaming.